film a little bit of a video. So I'm still in Denver, Colorado. Hopefully soon I'll be going to Nevada, to Las Vegas or Reno, and I'm working on dolls. And I think I definitely will try to sell here and also in Boulder, Colorado before I leave. But I've been doing one card a day for like the tarot interpretations, and I haven't really documented too much of what I've been doing in Colorado and Denver, even though I'm not really doing much. I'm just making dolls. I come to this creek like every day, or I go to this park that's further down the block. Lately it's been raining a lot since I came back from the Rainbow Gathering. It's been hotter, and it's been like last few days it's been raining. And right now I'm like on the 16th doll, but I'm also working on 3 other ones, but kind of focusing on this one today. He's gonna be like a little, like a nomadic, houseless man. And yeah, I've been doing the tarot readings with tarot interpretations. And one thing I wanted to say is like, some days I'll pull the tarot cards and they'll resonate with me so well, and I'll be like, yeah, that makes sense. Like yesterday I pulled, I pulled 8 of Swords and the Hierophant. And the day before it rained, and I was speaking about this in the video about the Hierophant. It was like, it rained and I was outside and I went underneath this awning that was connected to this building, and I stayed there for a while. The rain was starting to taper down, but it wasn't done yet. And then security came out and told me I had to get from underneath the building awning. And I had asked, could I just stay there until it stopped raining? And they were like, that it was private, not private, but federal. It was a federal building, and so I couldn't stay there. And the security guard was trying to joke by saying, like, if I stayed, then the police would come and they would tase me. And I get he was trying to be funny, but I didn't find it really funny. And so when I pulled the Hierophant, it made me think about that, because I woke up that day and and I was thinking about living this life and how I just feel so alienated and outside. But I'm like an outsider, but I feel really happy living like this, and I'm just trying to figure out a way to better live like this, like be able to pay my phone bill, be able to like have food and buy a ticket to go to the next place. I would really love to like go overseas eventually, or at least go down to like South America or Canada. But right now that's kind of like, far away. But like I wanted to live like this since I was a kid, but I never really felt like I could do it, and I didn't, it's not practical, but it's, it's not, I guess, the status quo. But it's like, I'm happy. So we're pulling the Hierophant. The Hierophant is all about like order and tradition, organizations, and being a part of an organization or following the practices or the rules of the organization upright. And so, but then reverse is being kind of against it, fighting against it, or just moving in the world to the beat of your own drum. And either way, because it also could be like you following your own traditions, like traditions you choose to follow, like taking up. For me, is art. Like I practice art like kind of religiously. I create art religiously, and I make it like spiritual, my spiritual practice. So in that way, like, I could see that being the Hierophant. But then also, for some reason, I feel like I should fight against the status quo and the establishment. And can't really argue about it. It's just something in me that just, like, I don't like rules. I never really liked school that much. And so for me, it's just natural to, like, kind of, like, be this person, which I know some people, they're naturally able to fit into the order, and they can justify it and come up with reasons for why they feel like it's necessary for them. And I had to realize that that's just, it's different people in the world, and just because I feel this way doesn't necessarily mean that I'm right, and just because they feel that way, it doesn't mean that they're right. And then that it has to be some balance. It has to be like, you follow the rules, but then you have to, like, have a little bit of, like, disobedience. Like, if we all just do what we're told, it could, like, lead to a place where it's, like, out of control, where, some people say, like, too much control is chaos, and too much chaos is, like, I don't know. Well, yeah, too much chaos, I don't know if it can be controlled, but too much control can also be chaotic. And so balancing, like, trying to control chaos or to create chaos, to unbalance all the control, Anyway, I just resonate with that type of being. And even though I think some people would look at me and, like, if you really get to know me, you would think that I'm more controlled than chaos. But yeah, I guess it all depends on the person. Because I've definitely met more people who are much more chaotic than I am. But yeah, pulling the Hierophant, so that, and then the Eight of Swords, because Eight of Swords is about mental blockage, or feeling, not mental block, but feeling trapped, or victim mentality. But it's all, like, it's more in your head than it is, like, in the physical, and that you could break free from it if you chose to. Like, the ability to break free from it is there, because it shows, like, the woman trapped in between the swords, but she's not trapped. Like, she could walk out, she could wiggle between the swords, or she could, like, the constraints and the blindfolds, she could easily take them off, and she'll be free to go to that castle that's in the background, but she has to, like, want it enough, or do the work to do it. It's mainly in their head. So that was another thing, because I woke up feeling very ostracized after being told I had to go out into the rain because I wasn't allowed to be underneath this federal building. And then even walking around with, like, all my bags and the way people treat me, it's hard. But when I think about it, I really wouldn't want it any other way, really. When I used to work, I was so miserable, like, going into work and going home every day. So I would like to better this lifestyle. I would like to do it better, but until then, like, I am standing by my beliefs, my feelings. But today I pulled the Seven of Swords. And so Seven of Swords was a tricky one, because it was about, like, neither finding an alternative to what you're trying to pursue, which is, like, it also looked like sneaking around trying to find this alternative, or someone who's lying or cheating, or someone who might be stealing. And not to say I've never been that person, like, not to say I've never been sneaky, but I'm not really sneaking around at the moment. So then that kind of got my guard up, like who is this sneaky person around me? So, like, I don't know, some people came around me earlier today, and I gave them a reading, And I was like, could it have been them? You know, maybe I'm jumping to conclusions. But then the person came back around, and they might have wanted a cigarette, but they were just like lingering around and didn't really say much. So that's the thing. Some days, to come back to my original point, was like some days the cars, like, they make so much sense, and then some days it's like, I don't know, like, you know, not that, I don't know, it could be me, but then it's like, what is it that, like, I would know? But then it could be like just figuring out alternative situations to pursue your goal at hand. So, but yeah, just my ramble. So yeah, I'm in Denver, Colorado, and wait for the plane thing. Denver, Colorado. Just been working really hard at my art. I did go to the Rainbow Gathering. I came here to go to the Rainbow Gathering, and I did kind of some reading, pulled some cards before I left San Francisco. And every card was like in line with me coming here and doing that. I do kind of wish I would go around the city more and see more things. There is a lot of other things here that might be cool to go see, but I won't beat up on myself too much. I have seen some cool stuff. I met cool people, especially from going to the Rainbow Gathering, and I still think I will try to sell here, and I still will try to go to Boulder. So, yeah, okay.